Hello everyone, we have a new game. As you can see, I played against Jan51 with 2240 rating and I was black. Unfortunately, I'm using this mode where the result is already shown. For the next video, I will try to rearrange it in the old way so you don't see the result. So let's see, he opened with e4 and d6, our repertoire, and d4, knight f6, knight c3, e5, offering the endgame. He refused, and now we are in the Philidor defense. And as you have already seen the title of the video, it says don't play the Philidor. I mean, it's not a bad opening, but it's very hard to win from this position, at least for me. Let's see. Bishop e2, bishop e7, castles, h3, slightly mysterious move, and now I played c6. So I'm just controlling the d5 square for now. A4, a useful move, preventing my ideas of b5. Queen c7, a5, and now he has these ideas, a6 followed by d5, and then getting to this square. Sometimes it's complicated, but sometimes it works. All right, rook e8, bishop e3, and now I started shuffling. Knight f8. The knight might go here, or it might go there. Who knows? Depends. In here, he made a mistake. King h2. I marked the king and queen with the same color because they are on the same diagonal. And because of that, I have these ideas. After exchanging, I opened that diagonal, and he has three ways to take. None of them are great, but okay, he chose maybe the worst one. And here, I thought, okay, if I give this check, yeah, on bishop e5, I have bishop d6, and this probably wins a pawn. I thought he has this move, and it got me worried, but actually, that pawn is in trouble. But I couldn't calculate. I thought, let's play it simple. Let's attack the bishop, and when he retreats the bishop, I have this d5 idea. For example, bishop e3, d5, and how to save the pawn. It's not clear. For example, it seems that it's going to drop in the near future, but he played a simple move, g3, and now there is no discovered attack. The diagonal is blocked. But I get the bishop here, so I did get something. Okay, and here I marked the two bishops, that's my advantage, and my route is to go bishop f8, bishop g7, to put the dark square bishop on the long diagonal. So I transferred my bishop in the next couple of moves. Let's see. Bishop f3, protecting the pawn, g6, bishop g2, bishop g7, f4, and here I marked the e6 square because my plan was to transfer the knight there and maybe exchange on d4. Maybe not the best plan, but that's what I came up with during the game. So let's see, knight d7, queen d2, knight c5. It's hard for him to move this rook because he needs to watch that pawn, I guess. So he moved the other rook, and I finally got to e6 as planned. But you see, I spent 4 moves to get there, and he just supported his knight. And after this exchange, I haven't achieved much. I did exchange one piece, and since my only worry here is that he somehow attacks my king, with one less piece, I believe that it's harder for him. I might be wrong, but that was what I thought during the game. So finally I connected the rooks. He played some bolstering move, and now I'm preparing to put pressure on e4. It might not happen, but it's an idea. Why it didn't happen? Because he played b4, and this gives me an opportunity to strike on the queen side. As you can see, the d4 knight has a long way to reach the d5 square. That's why here I can do c5. So I attack his queenside pawn chain. I attack his knight. I do weaken the d5 square, but it's hard for him to get there, almost impossible. And suddenly, I am better. He has several weak pawns, the guys marked in red. I do have d6 and b7 weaknesses, but it's hard for him to do something. Even if he wins those pawns, I do some other stuff, as you will see. He played a good move, sacrificing one of his pawns just to open lines. And here I was attracted by this attacking move, bishop b5. Actually, bishop c6 was better, just protecting the pawn. So the bishop b5 is nice, but it sacrifices one of the pawns. And this was my idea. I go in with the queen, I pin his knight, and if he blocks my dark square bishop, I planned to sacrifice a piece. So this was my plan, because now there is this crisscross pin, and even though he has an extra piece, he's busted. At least I thought that he is busted, because this was my logic. He gives check, I exchange, and then my bishop protects this e8 square, so I defend against check with a tempo, and on the next move I pick up the knight. But he has an intermediate move. This didn't happen in the game, but actually here he has c4, deflecting my bishop from defending the e8 square, and I didn't see it. I thought that I would be winning here, but the computer showed me this move. And it's logical, because now I can't defend with the rook and win a tempo. So I lose a tempo with king g7, and now the crazy stuff happens. So he threatens queen f6, so I have to move my queen and protect that square. And when we exchange, I cannot take with the bishop, because he pins me. So I need to take with the rook, and this is a drawn endgame. He is up in exchange. I have 2 pawns for it, but it's hard to win. But he didn't see it. But what happened here is my opponent immediately gave this check. He didn't block with e5. And then after this exchange, I just protect the check, and his queen is hanging. So he has to go back to protect his rook. And here, I didn't see. Here I had exactly 1 minute on the clock. And I spent about 15 seconds trying to find the win. I didn't see rook e4 because the knight is dropping. His bishop is pinned. He cannot take. And I just didn't see it. I didn't see it, and I played g5. My idea was to open this diagonal in case that he captures. Then I would go with the bishop and attack like this. But he played e5, and here I had another chance. So for example, bishop h6, putting pressure here, threatening this because of the pin. But I went with my previous idea. You remember, I planned to sacrifice a piece in a similar position, and at that time it worked because my king was safe. But here it doesn't work, so I sacrificed a piece, but the g file is open, and that's the problem. He just played rook g1. I get my piece back, but my king is in trouble, and he has this check, and I cannot escape checks. Okay, I'm lucky that this is a pin, otherwise I would be losing. Although I did get to a losing position after several checks. I made a losing move here because there is a pin there, but if he somehow deflects my queen with queen b5, then he gives a discovered check and he's just a piece up. So I didn't see it, neither did he. So he repeated, I repeated, and again, the move is rook e7 to keep the balance, but I didn't see it. At this point, I was on about 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and he was also short on time. And I think he was happy with the draw, so I gave him two chances to win the game at the end, but he missed them. And okay, before that I had a winning position, but I failed to capitalize. So somehow a fair result. And the conclusion is it's very hard to win in the Philidor with black. I will still be playing it since that was the plan, but we'll see. I'll keep track of the results and perhaps I'll change the repertoire. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.